Hello people and welcome to after lunch session. This is the tough time, I was told some advice how to wake up you guys talking about Peppi Lundström or something very strange, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to impress your, let's say, mindset on a nice presentation. I must say that I'm extremely happy to be here in Helsinki talking about smart cities, what's happening out there outside of Finland. I usually go to Smart City Barcelona and also I go to Smart City New York. So this is my first time to talk about smart cities here in Helsinki, and I hope that this will be like an annual event for me in the future. Okay, let's go to the topic. I have taken a huge, let's say, subject to discuss about developing and scaling up your products and services to the global markets. I must admit that I'm going to just scratch the surface. I'm not going to, let's say, cover what sort of challenges companies are having individually, but instead of that, I'm trying to describe what we can do as Business Finland to help out. Business Finland is still a new organization. We started operation 1st of January this year, and the history is such that we merged two, let's say, traditional organizations together, which is FinPro. I'm coming from the FinPro side, promotion organization, helping Finnish companies to go to the international markets, and on the other hand, attracting investments to Finland. The second organization was Tekes, innovation funding agency, and now we are merged together. And I must really be happy about this organization because we can really provide, let's say, seamless service portfolio for Finnish startups and SMEs and also larger companies. But okay, let's go. I'm going to cover this huge topic in 3 sections. First one, let's say, perhaps in a more general terms, talking about service path from innovation to the global markets. What sort of steps there is, what sort of services we can provide, etc. Secondly, I'm going to go to theme-specific programs. Business Finland is running a theme-specific programs for multiple years, providing the whole set of services for a, let's say, a specific theme. Thirdly, I'm going to give you 2 very concrete case examples of what sort of market activities, what sort of commercial platform services we are providing for Finnish companies. I have taken only one, let's say, market, let's say, snapshot from Frost & Sullivan, and I think all of this was already covered before lunch, but just as a summary, I can say that we have clearly moved from hype to business. World is not ready. There's a lot of integration needed. There's a lot of work to be done. In a lot of countries like US, people are still kind of strongly in the silos, so we need to look on the top of the silos and start integrating things together. Secondly, let's say during the earlier years, smart city, let's say, development was connected to mega cities, big cities. But now, according to Frost & Sullivan, we are going towards smaller tier 2 cities, which from my perspective, they are, let's say, more sizable to Finnish capabilities also. The growth rates, of course, they look great. It's about 10% on the annual growth. And if you look at the figure out up there, $2.1 trillion, 2025, it's a big number. Business is available over there. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Okay, going to my topic now. I'm going to talk about, on a general level, the service path from innovations to global scale-up. These 4 ingredients on the right side are the ingredients for success. That's how we see it in Business Finland. It might be that you look these terms and think that, okay, that's quite obvious. But when we are meeting companies on a daily basis, we very typically see that something is missing from the equation. So you need to have the passion for growth. You need to have this, let's say, shine in your eye. I want to grow. Secondly, you need to have the international competitive edge. Your product or your service needs to have a chance to compete on the international markets. This is not always the case. You need to have capabilities and good team. This is also what is a lot of times missing. Very typical example being on a small company is that the company CEO says to be the company salesman. It doesn't work that way. If you go and try to conquer the US market, somebody needs to take care of the things at home. So you need to hire more salespeople. Finally, sufficient resources. This means, again, let's say personnel. It means that you need to have a healthy financing. You need to have tools to build the growth. This is a very, very simplified, let's say, ladder, 3 steps to the markets. We made it simple because let's say it's easier to explain what's going on. Of course, in practice, there's a lot of, let's say, half steps, and you need to back up and so forth. So the first step is commit and get ready. This is the work companies need to do at home. They need to build a product, they need to build a service, they need to build up a value proposition, and they need to build the capabilities to go international. Second step is entering the market. This means that you are getting your first pilots, your first demonstrations. You need to figure out what's the entry model to the market. You need to make the contacts. That's an exciting moment if you are capable of doing that or not. And finally, when you have been, let's say, successful on the market, let's say 1 or 2 years, then you can start really growing and scaling up your business on the market. And also you need to start renewing your business models when you understand how the things work in a particular market. Okay, those are the steps. Here on the lower part, we have laid down the services we can provide as Business Finland. Along all these 3 steps, we can give advice and mentoring from the initial steps to the entry to the market until the scale up. Business Finland has about 40 locations around the globe, so we can really provide market know-how, and we can provide second opinion on your views on the market. When we joined together with Tekes, we got the capabilities of funding your innovations, funding for your piloting, etc. We have the contacts and networks. We network people here in Finland a lot, but we network people on the global market a lot. And I think the latter part is, let's say, the most valuable, let's say, asset here. And we provide visibility for companies, for example, delegations along with the ministries, different sort of media coverage, that sort of things. A whole map of services available. Second part of my presentation covers programs, which I say here, they are supporting the long-term development of your business. I must say that it also helps businesses on the current situation when you have products and services ready to go to the market right away. I have picked up 3 examples here, which I say that they are smart city related programs. On the top here, I have covered a summary of the programs within 10 years' time. There's multiple programs which have been ending, Cleantech Finland, electrical vehicles, with the city, that sort of programs. And the 230 billion euro in that balloon says that that's the amount of funding we have provided for companies on that particular period for smart city related activities. Second balloon, smart energy, that's kind of newly started program. which talks about energy transformation in the globe, more renewables, more smart nets on the grid, that sort of things. 55 million euros funding available, let's say, through that program channel. And finally, very new program, Smart Mobility. Smart Mobility talks about transformation of goods, transformation of people, and integration. Digitalization is very much vital for smart mobility and smart energy. 50 million euros available for companies to develop their products for smart mobility. Talk about long-term view. That's how we interpret different time horizons. 3 horizons. First horizon is tackling the immediate business opportunity. We do that a lot. Services like delegation trips, let's say buyers, events, provide service for that. Horizon 2, time range 2 to 4 years, is tackling emerging market opportunity or need, which requires some change of the service portfolio what company have currently. And thirdly, Horizon 3, where we create options for the future. This means that we are, let's say, bringing in from the market, let's say, growing up, let's say, ideas, disruptions, where Finnish companies would be necessary to do completely new things. So in each program, what we are running, we are trying to cover all these 3 horizons. Thirdly, I promised to give you some very concrete examples of our market activities, or you could also say business platforms for companies to utilize. First example is case Nevada. We have been developing together with state of Nevada, let's say, commercial collaboration for almost 2 years now. And this is the statement here, what Nevada has said. They have been developing a lot of their own, let's say, products, integrations, that sort of things. A lot of years used, but clearly they want to open up to Europe, and clearly they want to open up for Europe for collaboration. There's a lot of verticals available. You can read them here. You can see a lot of big players in Nevada. So, okay, everybody thinks about Nevada. It reminds like Las Vegas. It's gaming. It's a lot of different things. You know, this is just to give you an idea that there's a lot of businesses over there. Smart city opportunities in Nevada. I think Ian was showing very nice picture of a drone carrying a box. For instance, Nevada is looking to integrate the road transportation and air transportation all together to a integrated, let's say, platform for businesses. They like to integrate the traffic things in a wider scale in many cities. So let's say if I would be an entrepreneur from Finland, I would look this very carefully because we do have competencies to bring over to state of Nevada. 2 very concrete cases. We have met the city of Las Vegas, that's the gaming city, and their sister city, city of Henderson. And they both are looking for smart solutions to make the transportation easier, to integrate different modes of transportation. Henderson City, they showed us the strategy for smart cities where they have 5 priorities. And let's say for me, this is very concrete, very, let's say, open manner how they present their challenges and really open for West collaboration. And there's more to come. Like I explained, there's a lot of verticals, so we will continue bringing some new stuff online as we progress. Second of my example is about Nordic collaboration, Nordic cooperation, and I think it was just before lunch in the presentation saying that we need to join forces, and this Nordic collaboration is all about that. Typically, big city challenges, they are very huge, and if we, let's say, go as Finland alone, if Swedes are going alone or Danish are going alone, it's too little competence available. So joining forces makes a lot of sense. So for this reason, we have a 2-year program where we collaborate on the Nordic level, all the trade promotion organizations together. And we have funding from the ministry to do this. And we are, let's say, tackling 3 very big markets: North America, India, and China. But we have selected some, let's say, cities from each of these countries to be able to really drill down to particular projects where our competencies make a difference. This is our approach. So starting from the left, let's say we have done that job for you guys, and we have even done the second job for you guys. So we have come to the theme level and now making a MOU agreements on a project level. And there we have the challenge, there we have the technology needs, getting ready for Finnish and Nordic companies to do business. Here is just one example, Twin City from Minnesota, where we have very good contacts with the people. And major themes, you can read them by yourself. There's a lot of, let's say, topics where Nordic companies have the right competence. And we are moving ahead with this particular area also by arranging urban labs, different types of workshops to really understand what is needed. And then we form the consortia to offer our solutions. But if somebody here is not now yet committed, what's in it for Nordic companies? So here, as a summary from the Nordic collaboration, is the value proposition. We can really promote Nordic competence instead of one country. So that's a huge benefit. And we have also planned and focused activities, like I explained, drilling down to the project level. So we are focusing and we are, let's say, breaking through. And we are also, let's say, offering a long-term view. This is now 2-year funding, but I'm really hopeful and optimistic that there will be a further financing to continue this work after these 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this was my presentation, but if I summarize, business is available based on Frost & Sullivan research and huge growth rates. You think about these three ladder steps. If you adopt them, if you have some questions, please ask us. And if you got interested on these case examples, you can come to me and let's discuss how you can be part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ilkka. That was very insightful. Let me ask you a question. As you were speaking about all of these different global cities and all the work that you've done, give me an insight on, do you see any pocket developing much faster? Like, what's the earliest smart city that we can have?
Well, that's a big question. Like looking at the Frost & Sullivan view, they thought that APAC area is the biggest market. But let's say, been traveling around the globe, I see the North America very interesting one because the culture is so business driven. So you get to the business talk very fast. Mm-hmm. Perhaps the other world is Asia, where you need to, let's say, talk on the governmental level quite a long time before you get down to the business. So very hard to really say exactly, but purely looking at the business culture perspective, North America, US is very interesting.
So if we were to say, hey, let's make, let's try and, or let's think about one of the Nordic cities being the front runner in the next 2, 5, 10, 15 years, one of that time frame, what do you think we need to do right now to kind of get started? Has it already started?
It has started, yes. I was very happy to see Helsinki almost on the top of the rankings, and we were very happy to have Mr. Vapaavuori also on the panel in the Smart City New York. So I would like to say that it makes a lot of sense for cities to collaborate to each other bravely on the international, let's say, manner and share the experience, share the ideas, because everybody seems to have the similar challenges.
Of course, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for these insights. Ladies and gentlemen, Ilkka Homanen, and a big thanks to him for sharing his insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.